All right, Wack100. How's it going?
Man, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro.
Uh-oh.
You lucky as you.
You know, it's a pleasure
Lucky
always
as you.
having you, man. I just
Lucky
never know
as
what
you.
phone calls I'm gonna get after the interview drops, man.
You lucky as you. I was chilling at the house. My girl running around in her birthday suit. I went to sleep, dozed off, and she grabbed me and said, "You gotta get up and get ready." I said, "You know what? Cam been trying to get with me for about a couple of weeks. Let me make sure." I called here with traffic and all kind. I don't know what's going on the freeway over there. But nevertheless, man, what you mean? You get phone calls after my interviews?
I'm just
Calling.
I'm just with you. It's always a possibility, though.
Yeah, definitely, man. I've been busy. Cam, you ain't picked up none of these, man?
No. What is it?
No, that's the 13 new commandments of the YNs.
Okay. You know what? I wanted to ask you about that too, because I think you might have missed one.
Okay, that's altered ego. And then we got ego exposed. Now this is me and R&B, uncut, how it started, us back and forth, everything available on Amazon. I missed one. You read it?
I think so. Well, I didn't read the book, but I seen the video. The one I think you missed is...
we added 3 more though.
Did you add 3? Okay,
yeah, so which one you said we missed?
The one that I didn't hear was, if the person that gets snitched on comes out and says that the person didn't snitch on him, that means that they didn't snitch. According to the new guys.
The paperwork was supersede whatever they talking about, because watch this.
I'm not saying me, I'm saying that's what they say.
A person got snitched on, right? So, dude that did the telling, he might have a bag. It might be, he might be the daddy to his sister's kid. So he might get paid a dude to come out and say, "Nah, he ain't tell on me." But if we reading the paperwork in the documents saying he told on you, that's gonna supersede all. But in these days, the YNs is gonna take their bag and they gonna say we cool.
That's it, man. Yeah, I get surprised every time I see that one happen. I'm like,
we added 3 more. One, you can tell on the dead body. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that was...
No, we added that. And I'm gonna be real. Look, any of my homies get into something and I'm gone, put it all on me. I mean, why not? What they gonna do, come dig me up and cuff me?
Yeah.
They can't take nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? Well, it could be a situation where, depending on the crime, the family can come still sue civilly a dead body.
It could spark a RICO. Possibly.
They gonna subpoena me to court?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying for the whole gang, other people. But
what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. The thing that's going on right now is, I'm just gonna start with the most recent news.
Yeah.
That came out, man, and that's THF Bezu was shot and killed yesterday on the west side of Chicago.
Was he killed? Because I'm hearing he was unalived, and I'm hearing he was fighting for his life.
I believe it's confirmed that he passed away.
This Lil Durk man, right?
Lil Durk's homie, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, man, it's in our streets of America. It's old problems, continued beefs. Some people in jail. Some people ain't caught up with people. So it's never gonna stop. The only way you can really avoid that is you gotta kind of relocate and just get low, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you got issues in that jungle, you know what I'm saying? The rabbit ain't never safe. Not as long as the bears are running around, not as long as the fox and the wolf is running around. You know what I'm saying? So if you got issues in that jungle, it's gonna be some issues, man. I don't know too much about him. I do know he was kind of like, him and Lil Durk was cool. I don't believe he was mentioned in none of Lil Durk's and it's Rico. I don't believe, I could be wrong, but I don't recall hearing that name, man. But and it hasn't been any real details coming. I haven't heard any diss songs. Ain't nobody coming out.
You didn't see the video? Did you see the video?
What? What?
Of Bezu. They got the videos out.
The video of him getting unalived?
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't seen it.
Let me show you.
I ain't been on Clubhouse today. Oh, I seen this. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody sent the hitters at him. It's 2-3 people got hit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but Bezu was tripping. How he didn't see that running up on him?
Man.
They ran up on him at least about 60 yards. Yeah, he got too comfortable. Yeah, I seen that. I didn't know that was him. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you're not running up on me. That's not happening. You know how many times I done made a motherfucker show me their hands at the gas station? Fans. Yeah, that's a fact. You gonna show me them hands quick.
Fans come up to you
all the time.
It makes you a little bit.
No, it's the approach. Like this particular, it was maybe about 1 in the morning. It was an older dude too, and he kind of like he pulled up to the gas station, and I was way in this lane. He was in this lane. I'm pumping my gas, and he sat there. He never got out after about 2-3 minutes. I seen him on the phone, and I seen him pull out. And he pulls around here. So now he's on the opposite side. He opens the door and jumps out and said, Wack100. He got a hoodie. He immediately showed me them hands. Off the top.
Yeah.
Show me them hands. And I ain't even talking to him. Cause you know, a lot I don't show. But I ain't never just there by myself. So he looking at me and I'm looking at him. I'm like, show us them hands. You know what I'm saying? And he was an older dude. He probably was a fan. It was just the approach. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got hoodies on, it's gas, you done pulled up, set for a couple minutes. Look, man, when you in these streets, you come from these streets, you can never get, this is what I mean by, I'm not a gangbanger no more, but I'm from Paru. So all my instincts and all my training and everything that came with me surviving when I was gangbanging as a Paru, is still with me as a Paru. I ain't gonna let that go, cause that's just survival today. And I'm looking at that video, bro. Them dudes ran at least 50 yards. None of them dudes standing around that car even moved. They didn't pay it no attention. So, you know, they look kind of young, so we'll see if they know how to keep their mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they go pillow talk here, there, see if they know how to keep their mouth shut. But I don't know, like I don't really know the other brother that got unalive, so I don't know what he was about. I don't know what he was into. It sounded like he was, you know, come from the streets. You know, everybody, you gotta stay ready, man.
Well, the Big U Rico has been going on for a while now, man. And since our last interview, we learned that 50 to 75 people are cooperating against Big U.
Probably gonna be more by the time we get to May.
Oh, man.
You gotta remember, these are people over a course of time. They didn't just come out. These are people over a course of time. Like, Big U came home in 2004. And he took a stronghold of his neighborhood. And like I tell Eddie Boy, who was Big U's co-defendant when he did that stretch, within reading his RICO paperwork, I didn't know this Big U. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I do, we know what we're capable of, right? We know our teams, but we're not moving in that manner. You get what I'm saying? We know, we see what's around each other, but the things I'm reading in this thing that, you know, what was going on with the vendors and the, you know, and the, whoever this one dude is. Now, I think he's catching a bad rap for the extortion. I think he's catching a bad rap, and we all need to learn from that. I know the individual. I know him personally. I've done other business with him as far as helping him with his club promotions, but And I know his ways because I was in the middle of one of his situations with one of my family members. I just dealt with it differently, right? As I'm reading the paperwork, I can't see Big U going out his way to extort somebody for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 at a time. It takes too much time and energy. You get what I'm saying? But what I can see is this. I can see somebody coming to Big U for a loan. 30, 40, 50,000. Big U saying, well, how I'm gonna get my money back? Well, you know, I got the dispensary, I got this, that. I do shows. Give me 2 months. Cool. I can see Big U making this happen. Whether he did it with his own money or he went and called somebody and said, hey, bro, I need you to loan this dude this, and then I'm gonna pay you this on that. He might have said for 50, I need 30% back on my money. I need 65,000. He might have told the other dude, I need 50 for 2 months. I'm gonna give you back 15% on your money, right? So now, dude's making money, Big U's making money, right? He's kind of operating as the bank. And I can see 2 months from now, dude not answering the phone. 3 months from now, he not answering the phone. 6 months later, Big U figures out where he's at. Here comes the pull-up. Now this where people from the streets, we go wrong. Now the pull-up is where my money at. You don't just owe me the 50 plus the 30%. You didn't duck me for 6 months. Now you owe me, instead of the 65, you owe me 100. I can understand that. But when it comes to the law, they're not gonna understand that. Right. See, when you go do something with the bank or get a loan, those people don't operate like that. So now you got a dude, which Big U probably didn't know, that's already operating as an informant. We pulled his paperwork. 2020, he got caught shipping 70, 80 pounds to like Ohio or something. Right?
Who did?
The dude Monster.
Oh, right, okay.
So he's already doing what he's doing with law enforcement. So guess what? He don't got the money. What does he do? Contact his handler. I'm being extorted. He never tells them, I borrowed this. Big U don't have it on paper because he just did an under the table deal. See, it was too many pull-ups to get crumbs. You get what I'm saying? I think the money he was picking up was actually money that was owed to him coming back in small amounts at a time. And when you do that, you never really gonna get out of debt. And I think that led to the extortion, which in fact led to a deeper investigation on other things. I think he's catching a bad rap on that one. Now the other one with the female and the sex trafficking and ordering the prostitutes, that's what it is. She's working, been working. I told the people she was working with, she was working. A year before the world was able to read, she was working. The unaliving in Las Vegas, we've yet to hear about it. But then again, that happened in Las Vegas. We don't know if the feds are saying, we're gonna let you deal with California stuff now, and then after you're done with that, have Las Vegas federal jurisdiction pull him that way and charge him. We don't know. So, you know, we gotta see. But other than that, man, I've heard a few things. I've heard some statements have went in from some people very close to him that has upset him.
That's a lot of people, man.
There's gonna be more than that. It's a big neighborhood. You know, you figure over a period of 21 years. And then who's to say what a lot of them is saying is real? A lot of them could be third party, you know, information. You get what I'm saying? We play games like that. Like, I'll tell 3 different people 3 different stories and see which one I hear. And won't never tell the person why I stopped with them. because the bullshit story I told you is in the street. You get what I'm saying? So I will say he was very consistent with who he hung with. You know, I know his team. But again, the big you I know was, I knew where he came from. I knew what he was capable of and things, and that was vice versa. But everything we did was business. You know what I'm saying? When he asked me to help him with the, the basketball and the celebrity games, can Ray J donate a couple Scooty bikes to give away, or can we get, your artist to do this or whatever? We let that happen. It was for a good cause, but, graffiti removal, can you come up here to the continuation school, speak to the kids, or, things of that nature. I don't know the other stuff. And when you're reading his paperwork, he didn't commit none of these acts with nobody from the other side anyway. Everybody on his work is crippin'. It ain't no Bloods or Paul rules on there. So I think maybe whenever he was doing this thing, if he was doing whatever he was doing, he kind of isolated it there. But I think the extortion, I think he catching the bad rap for that.
When you came out with this news that all these people were cooperating against Big U, you dropped the name of the all-star basketball player who got cheated out of $1.5 million in a rigged dice game by a boxer identified as AB and is cooperating.
No, did they say AB was cooperating? They said the basketball player.
Basketball player.
Now, I've been getting into an argument with one of my spies out of Houston. And he swears to God that this basketball player is, what's my man out of Compton? It's James Harden. He's mad at me that I won't run the content he sends me on James Harden. And he has all kind of stuff on James Harden. Crazy stuff. I mean, he got James Harden gonna be indicted for paying off a judge. Like he just been having his thing for James Harden. And he's a known dude and people know who he is, and I can't front. 10 out of 10 things he's sent me have been real. But on this one, we know AB, because AB gamble shoot dice. So we know that's the boxer. But it just kind of says all-star basketball player, this, that, or the other, right? It hasn't said James Harden's name. Now come time for trial, we're gonna see. Because I believe if what he's saying is true, my guy, they're gonna use whatever they're holding over James Harden's head to get him to take that stand. And I can't front, I know you a little mad at me, you my guy, a very well-known guy. Dad is a well-known superstar, he rest in peace. Dad's an NBA champion, right? But I just can't say it's James Harden because we don't see it. Just like this Chauncey Billups thing. Everybody want to put it on Gilbert Arenas. I can't say that. What I could say is maybe them dudes was on the phone and loose or whatever, wasn't thinking nothing about it, and maybe one thing led to another. But I can't say Gilbert's the one that put them on Chauncey and this thing that just happened, because I don't see it.
It's not there yet. This paperwork that just came out, it came out of left field and I did not see this coming, but now T Grizzly is being accused of telling on the guy who broke into his house and stole over $1 million in cash and jewelry.
Yeah, this dude name is Baby Shooter from Fire Trey Avalon. I've been knowing him for a while. He's in there fighting the case against, I forget the dude name from Atlanta. The situation, he was in a Rolls Royce downtown, he was robbed or shot or something J, I forget the brother.
I interviewed that dude a few years ago.
Yeah, right. So he's been fighting.
He got shot.
Yeah, he's been fighting that case. He's went to trial twice and they've been hung juries or they just dismissed it. I believe next month he starts his third trial. So he's been telling me for about 8 months or a year, yo man, my attorney's telling me T Grizzly gave statements on me. I'm like, you gotta send me something, bro. I can't just, come out with that. Now, I do know, within reading, I wake up the other morning, October, he tells me, my brother and my girl is going to get that, my attorney's going to release that, they're going to send you to. I can show you on my phone. And I woke up to it. So I'm like, I called his brother. What's this? He said, that's what the statement the officer wrote from T Grizzly. This is what they turned into the DA. This is what the DA served on legal. So I'm like, okay, what happened with it? He said, well, the statute of limitations, 3 years on the burglary. But I think they got a year after that to file or refile, whatever, right? So, everything's on my text messages of them sending it to me, him telling me way back in October, that I'm going to, get you this work. And T Grizzly, a friend of mine. I've been knowing T Grizzly quite a while, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing against T Grizzly. He called me to, look, you go back to October 16th, right? You see what I'm saying? He's telling me it's coming.
Want me to read it?
Yeah.
What's up, Unc? I got jury selection next week and got all my paperwork from cases from the lawyer and sent it home. We gonna expose that dude.
And if you scroll down, you'll see me just the other day sending them, because his brother sent me to work, me sending that to his girl like, yo, is this? And she's telling me before she even sees it, did you get what he had sent to you?
Yeah, it looks like you text him, yo, did Shooter have something sent to me? Yo, good morning. He said he was going to have something sent. Someone sent something. He's at court. Okay. Is that real what he sent? So I have to wait to talk to him.
What she tell you?
And then there's some paperwork below that. It looks like you text her just to make sure it was official.
Mm-hmm. And what she say?
Yes, that's Grizz paperwork. And when he calls me, I'll call you to clarify everything.
There you go. So that's when you hear the phone call with Flacco and another call with 600. Because Flacco hit me. I'm like, I'm going to let y'all talk to him. 600, I'm going to let you. 600 knows him. 600 used to work with him on management. I'll let y'all talk to him. It's where it's. So I told him the other day, he said his attorney has some more documents. They was going to get him over. T Grizzly called me, said, man, dude lying on me this. I said, but look, T, y'all recorded this dude on FaceTime. You remember the FaceTime?
Yep.
Baby Shooter was out of line. I don't care what he was trying to do. I told him this. Because he mentioned names that were supposed to have been the people that actually committed the act.
Blamed it on somebody. Right?
A bunch of people, right? So here goes the thing. T Grizzly, you a high profile dude, right? If I'm talking to you and I'm saying these things that incriminate other people, how did it get to the internet? I told him, I said, T Grizzly, I'm looking at it how I'm looking at it. It's already looking like you was playing wrong. He out of line for even telling y'all what he told y'all. He know that. But then you took that and put it on it. You think the police ain't gonna hear that and follow those leads? You get what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of janky stuff coming. We're gonna wait and see what else we get. But and I tell people today, look, bro, back in the day, get something done to you, your family harm. Today, it might possibly make you a big artist. The kids don't care. It's just content for people to react to for a week, 10 days, and they move on. Nobody really cares. So it's just content for me. That's why I said if you expose the paperwork, you got to do something to them. Listen, man, it's just content. That's all it is. It's content. Nobody takes this shit serious no more. Shout out to Echo right here, bro. It's my man Jeremy Green. The clip that's been going viral with me and R&B and Jeremy Green. I believe the podcast is called Simplicity. That's my guy at Echo. Echo, remember this. This might be something you may want to invest in. Can you imagine? You got to go to like Hulu and Amazon, Netflix and see what's there. Imagine all those things combined. Every movie, every TV show, all the podcasts, everything, you could just go to this Echo app, right? And everything that's available everywhere is on this app. And when you hit it, it'll simply send you to where it's at. So that's my boy Jeremy Green, but he got a podcast down there called Simplicity that's real big. I believe me and R&B might be contracted. It's on her decision. I told myself I would never do it. They want us to do a reality show as well as her Ego Exposed podcast down there. So we'll see how it goes. Bunch of white dudes, clean-cut white dudes. Anti-Negro.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't put my woman in the middle of the ism. Can't do that.
Well, I seen Mace say that this is the year of the snitches, and he never seen so many snitches in his life.
That's a fact. They winning. Yeah, the Rats is winning, bro. The Rats is in first place. They're
Rats are in first place.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got a Great Dane in line 1, Great Dane in line 1. We got the Thoroughbred in lane 2, Thoroughbred in lane 2. We got the Camel in lane 3, Camel in lane 3. We got a Doberman Pinscher in lane 4, Doberman Pinscher in lane 4. Lane 6, we have the long tail. We got the long tail rat in lane 6. Oh, he's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's pulling away. He's pulling away. Oh, he pointed out another one. Long tail rat for the win. That's what's going on. Think about it. Before we knew what Thug did, him and Gunna dropped the album a week apart. At the time, Thug was being looked at as the gangster, locked down, holding his own. Gunna was being looked at as the rat. He outsold Thug. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't matter what comes out. That, you know, I'm gonna be real. Like, if I was like a artist, a neutral dude, listen, bro. I hired me one of them dudes. What's the tattoo? The fake tattoo? What they call that? What's it called, baby? Henna. I'll go get me a henna dude. Say, nigga, I need you for 2 years. Right? Get the henna tats on my face, the gangster shit. Right? Straight up. Come out like I'm all this, all that. This gotta be for a neutral dude, a civilian dude. Dropping music. And right when I dropped that first song, I let the rat paperwork come out. Straight up. Hire one of my best friends or my relatives or something to come out and say, fool, you's a rat. Who's a rat? Such and such is a rat. Everybody gonna start talking about, dude is a rat, the dude with the tattoo, the gangster, the thug dude. Now everybody looking at you. All the kids, they don't care about ratting. They don't give a damn about, listen, man, this is why I created this. This ain't about me. This is where the kids is at. Older dudes, y'all better go read this, because when you in a jail cell, you gonna start finding out rule by rule what this is about. These ain't my rules. I'm from the Old Testament. This the New Testament, where they believe if you snitch on me, I can snitch on your back. Well, they believe you said you was gonna pay for my attorney and drop money off of my baby mama, and you ain't did it, so now I'm finna tell my truth. Like, it's case to every rule, it's the old rule, case study, a story, and it's case law. You know who in the first case law? You snitch on me first, I'm snitching back, 6ix9ine. He went in there and they pressed play. He heard all them dudes putting it on him. He put it back on them. This is how they're thinking. Now, maybe you want to know and re-educate yourself now. I would hate for you to land in the jail cell and be like, yeah, they gonna keep, no, they're not. It's not gonna happen. Ain't no, yeah, I know you heard I did that, but we supposed to handle that another way. They doing it their way. So, yeah, man, I agree with Mace. The old school way, I also agree with Mace with the old school way of you trying to big homie and little homie people. He had that problem with Jay Prince. They ain't going for it. They know you 55, 60 years old. Okay, they know what that slug will do to your body. They know you really ain't willing to risk it all to catch another 30 years in prison. So either you approach these people with respect as men. But all that 80s and 90s and early 2000 tactics, not gonna work. It ain't gonna work, bro.
Well, Blueface has been in jail for a while, and it seems like he still finds a way to make news somehow, some way, but this time it was a little more serious. He's accused of being on a 50-50 yard.
He's not on a 50-50 yard at all.
Okay.
They got Lancaster got one level 4 yard that's clean and one level 3 yard that's clean. And they got another level 3 yard that's not. Blueface is weeks to the house. He'll be home in November. But I believe where they getting this from is when he transferred from LA County to reception, Blueface was there for a probation violation. That's what he was there for, right? You know, he's supposed to have been home 3-4 times. So when they look at he's never been to prison, he's a celebrity, I believe they might have sent him to like a level 1 yard. Blueface ain't never been to jail. Blueface didn't make it past. Whenever I would bail him out as soon as he got to the substation. So if they sending him from a reception to a level 1, all he knows is he on a yard. Crips here, Bloods here, essays here. He don't know. All he knows is he 9 months a year to the house. This is where I'm at. He didn't hide where he was at. You know what I'm saying? He called time for going on the phone and showing new tattoos and all this. That's why he called time. And when he called his time, they moved him to a higher yard. But the yard he owned is, from my understanding, is a clean level 3. You gotta remember, a lot of this stuff is new. This stuff didn't exist when I was in prison. Wasn't no 50-50, wasn't no SNY. It was mainline and PC. And it was PCs on the main line until we figured out who they was. Wasn't no cell phones. We had to wait till a kite came down. So you'll be on the yard with somebody 8 months, 9 months, a year or two before somebody come down and say, hey, dude is this, dude is that. And then they simply, something happened and they would go to PC. Now, 3 out of 5 prison yards is PC yards. There's more PC yards than anything. You know, they didn't create their own cliques, 2 fivers, prison gang. The Made Men, dude HK out of Black Peastone, they didn't came up with the Made Men movement. You know what I'm saying? It's real dudes down there on these yards. Like, I really wasn't paying attention. I look up, I see cats like Peabody. You know, these is generals. You know, Lil Sonny. These is generals. You know what I'm saying? You got real dudes down there for whatever reason. You know what I mean? So this is all a new politic for me understanding it. It's kind of like designed that if you go to jail with like a 2-year bid, and let's say you do 5 months in the county, another 2 months in reception, and they send you to a level 1, level 2, you're gonna be home in 4-5 months. The people that got 200 to life, they saying you gotta commit an act to catch time to get off that yard. So it was designed to puppeteer you. Yeah, we know you 5 months to the house, but instead of you going home to your wife and kids, you gotta commit an act to possibly stay here a few more years with us. That's a little different.
Yeah, I interviewed a prison guard, Hector, who was there when they started the 50-50 yards, and he said they knew it was going to be a riot, and they put them the PCs with the general populations and let them go at it. You know, and it is horrible what they're doing.
Yeah, the system's actually doing it, but the inmates is letting the system regulate them. Straight up. I operated a little different when I was in there. I had the keys to the yard. I would tell my G homies that had life, we 80 deep on the board, 20 of the homies is lifers that gotta go to board. Y'all done put all this work in the last 20, 30 years. Bro, lock it up, we got it. Now it seems to be like, the closer you get to the house, they want you to stay. That ain't really no homie. Man, I believe, bro, if a dude get under a certain amount of time, and he done did his already, man, you got dudes fresh on the yard with fresh 10, 15s, and 20s. Let them earn their stripes. Why reach to a dude that you know is 2-3 months to the house, he can do more for you on the street than keep him on the yard. Why? Because they know they ain't never getting out.
Yeah, man. What did you think when the guy came out threatening to stab Blueface, and all these other guys are threatening Blueface if he shows up on their yard?
First of all, me and Blueface gonna always stand together. Blueface ain't been on the yard yet. Well, I ain't had some dumb moves, and he don't even know it, watching him. Blueface crippin' is intact. They can say what they want. Any of these dudes out here woofing, I'll line you up and Blueface will beat the dog shit out of you. Nephew quiet, but ain't nothing about nephew no punk. And he will crash. Trust me, I didn't have my bouts trying to get him back focused. I don't know who they think he is, right? All these dudes since he been gone woofing, I got money, you line him up, he'll beat the dog shit out of you. Dude
Why does
just talking.
Blueface keep getting in trouble?
Listen, he in jail, so things gonna happen. You get caught with cell phones.
Out of jail though,
He's
too.
hot. Listen, at the
You
end
got him off that big case.
I got him out of 3-4 big cases. You watched me beat the freeway shooting, attempted murders, 2-3 gun possession. I beat a lot of cases. I think he knows what his downfall is, and I think, he's had time to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Prison will make you adjust. And, we'll see when he come home, exactly where he's at mentally. You know what I'm saying? But nothing dumb about him. He makes his own decisions. He hasn't cried one time since he's been in there. He's seen how it is when your finances get tight and it takes you to be here to do things. You know what I'm saying? But he's been able to maintain his home and his kids, and Jade, his baby mother, she's been doing her part. His restaurant, his partnership with that gentleman over there. He on his way home now. I got things set up for the next 6-7 months, from boxing matches with him and Swaggy P to his album deals to touring, television. So, I can keep him busy and every other thing that he wants to do personally. But ultimately, man, everybody got to go through something. I wasn't always this dude. You never met the gang banging Wack. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was banging it, I didn't hear what people was telling me. But, when that light comes on, then you make your adjustments. So, I got all faith in nephew. I'm behind him 100%. I love him like a son. And, he's very talented and he's very intelligent. So hopefully this time he come home, he stays focused and does what I know he's capable of doing.
Well, I hope he comes home and does the right thing too, man, because, it's definitely not as fun. The internet is less interesting without Blueface.
Definitely.
For sure, man.
We missed that scoop.
Yeah.
And all right. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, man. Free Blueface for sure. Well, Poetic Flacco seems to be making a lot of people mad lately. A lot of people don't like that he's kind of in LA gang politics and
he's in what?
Speaking on certain things about gangs and.
No, you can't listen. I urge Poetic Flacco to continue to do what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? The only thing Poetic Flacco's doing too much of is research, right? Once again, we have the community want to blame everybody but themselves. Everything you're reading from your phone right now, right? Did you have a team out there spying on people to get this information, or did you get it off the internet?
Everything off the internet.
Okay, great. So, if you're putting it on the internet and Flacco sees it, now he's a great editor. He got his own style of how he delivers the message. Until you stop putting it on the internet, you can't say nothing about what Flacco's reporting on from the internet. You can't get mad at Flacco without getting mad at yourself. Those of y'all that say I ain't on the internet, you a lie. Because if your ass wasn't on the internet, how would you know what Flacco's doing on the internet? Just telling me, Wack, got you playing on their car Bluetooth at the park with the window doors open. They listening to me on the internet. So if you're not on the internet, you wouldn't hear what Flacco doing on the internet. Flacco continued to do it. He's making a shitload of money, right? For those of y'all who got to do a GoFundMe to bury somebody, he's using the story y'all put up to make the money that would pay for the burial. That's on you. Flacco's from North Dakota. He lives next to the police station. He not moving around with binoculars, scoping out people, paying people for information. So how could you be mad at Flacco when all Flacco's doing is taking what he sees on the internet and reporting on it?
I hear that, man. Well, another person that there was some accusations that came out and that I seen you got into with their lawyer was Pooh Shiesty.
Mm-hmm.
What all happened with that situation?
I don't know how it started, but from the beginning I was protecting Pooh Shiesty. You go back on the YouTube channel, the 100 Show YouTube channel, 11, 12 months ago, you'll see I had a whole room with one of his attorneys. Loose Cannon was trying to expose him. I'm protecting him. I know his pops. You know what I'm saying? I've helped Pooh Shiesty in some of these situations. You get what I'm saying? Pooh Shiesty had more situations than this going on at the time of his arrest, right? That I assisted that into going away. He had a club situation out in Miami, right?
Yep.
Went away, right? All of a sudden they couldn't find the tapes. So Pooh Shiesty and his family knows that I'm not against Pooh Shiesty. But when I woke up, I went on academics and he was asking me, I said, you know what? The exposure's been sending me stuff. I ain't looked at it about Pooh Shiesty. I don't know what it is. They saying this, saying that. I ain't even took the time to look at it. That's what I said. So the lawyer, whoever this dude is, he on some clout shit. He says Wack is a lie. This, that, and other. So now it ain't about Pooh Shiesty. It's about your uncle calling me a liar, Cam. Your uncle. You get what I'm saying? Yep. We had a cane tonight out the Caucasus Mountains, come down here to the Zulu Nation and tell me I can't hit a zebra with a spear. So I simply ran the work. I had another dude come out and say, it's impossible for Wack100 to have the proffer. Kids, and this is why I tell you, do not get involved in the streets. It's irrational. A lot of the rules don't make no sense. It's one-sided, but it's the rules. You decide to play football, you can't go on there and say, hey, we ain't wearing helmets. No, the rules are you gotta wear a helmet. These are the rules. Anytime you mention another individual's name in the commission of a crime and you sign off on it in a proffer and you get less time for it. Now, this was out of his attorney's mouth. The first one, I just let his attorney, I don't think his attorney realized what he was saying. He said, well, the victims claimed they didn't have a gun, but we proved that they had a gun. So, you know, you wasn't there, so this is coming from your client, Pooh Shiesty. We proved they had a gun, and when we proved that, instead of Pooh Shiesty getting the 10, he got under 5 years. He said that. But I think he's operating in his world. In the world of the streets, I can't prove anybody has anything pertaining to a crime. Now, we've been had the proffer. This was the reason why Loose Cannon was a little mad at me, because he knew when we had his attorney in there the first time, and Loose was on him. Dude said, I'm gonna send you the paperwork. Wack, he said, hey, send it to Wack right now. You got it, send it right now. He said, I gotta go dig it up. I had it. I had it without the attorney sending it. The exposers had already, I believe Prince or Lavish or Ghost, one of them had already dug it up. They dug up the proffers on all of them, right? I just didn't say nothing. See, I let you know when I'm being a bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it really wasn't about Pooh, it was about Pooh Daddy. You know what I'm saying? He like, Wack, my son gotta go do his time. So I gave favor to that. I knew what he was telling me, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard for him to do his time with you exposing these things when he's just starting to do his time. So I didn't say nothing, and I was kind of wondering, why would they let their attorney attack me knowing that I've played the shield, the wall? I played the 50, I ain't gonna lie. But now when you attacking me, I gotta defend myself. I gotta defend myself. When R&B attacks me, I gotta defend myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? I be sleep, man. Next thing you know, I wake up, it's like a cougar, a wild animal. I gotta defend myself. I gotta throw a couple blocks, grab her by the neck, flip her over. You know what I'm saying? Position her, stabilize her. Then I have to inject her with the thing that will calm her down. I'm an alpha. I gotta defend myself. You get what I'm saying? I gotta defend myself. So it ain't on me. I like Pooh Shiesty. I got respect for his daddy, but even his daddy, no, bro, you're not finna attack me and think you're gonna silence me and have me looking crazy. Now, ever since these things had happened, you notice them attorneys and got real quiet.
It's been real quiet.
Yeah, see, one thing, listen, bro, I'm an Aries and I hate to be wrong. So I'm not gonna speak on it unless I got it all. And just cause I fired 2 shots don't mean I ain't got a whole keg of bullets. I'll get off just enough to warn you, hey bro, go your way. Leave me alone, I'm telling you. You keep coming, I'm gonna let off some more. You keep coming, I'm gonna empty the clip, and at that point in time, I'm gonna kill you off. It happened with this thug situation in Pee Wee. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's where you at? Cause I was being quiet. Y'all heard me. Everybody was like, yo, Wack, when we heard you say, hey, look, bro, what he did was wrong, but I'm not gonna call the man out his name. Everybody was shocked. I had a relationship with Thug, but now you got Pee Wee in here talking crazy, saying he's speaking for him. At that point in time, I gotta defend myself. That's what it is, you know what I mean? So, I think a lot of people need to sit their team down, and this clout thing, people be like, no, this is my time to get, and it's only gonna last for so long. You might get a month, 2 months, might get 3, 4 months, but it's gonna fade off. Well, you're not authentically that, people ain't gonna keep checking for you. They just not.
So I seen, you and Woody, I think, kind of had some issues. Then you guys did a podcast together.
I never had issues with Woody. Woody just a rat. I didn't know him, he ratted. I don't give a, you know what I'm saying? Me and Woody he used to contact me on IG, and I contact him. We would clown, laugh, joke. And one day they called, they said, yo, Woody had no jumper. He want to see you. I said, I'll be down there in a couple hours. So when I came down there, that's when we had the conversation about, he wanted to say, why wasn't I going at Thug the way I went at him? That was his whole thing, right? And you know me, I told him, I said, look, bro, I did eventually, but initially I really wasn't on that. You know what I mean? We had that damn, Cam, I'm pretty sure we had that interrogation tape 18 months prior to. Now, we only listened to a little bit of it because it was distorted. I will say Trap Lord Ross woke it up. He woke it up by playing it and then kind of like going over what was said, and I never got to the end of it. Like out of the 2 hours, we had maybe listened to 20, 30 minutes on Clubhouse. It was so distorted. And I'm like, I don't really know what's going on here. We really just blew it off, but we had it. So when Trap Lord did his piece on it, playing 5, 10 minutes and then going over what was said, we're like, hold on, wait, go back. Did he say that? So at that point, we had to call it for what it was. So he chose to stay. I was interviewing my father that day because Adam had did his father the week prior. I did my father the week after. And, Woody, his brother, was there. It was just 2 of them. And it was cool. I think Woody is trying to get into boxing. And you got to remember, people don't want to give me the credit, and I think you know it. If you have nothing else to talk about and you need people to look at you so you can talk about something, say something about Wack.
Okay.
Straight up, you could be a nobody from Tennessee, from damn Belmont, Virginia, a place that don't even exist. And you just mention my name, people gonna click it. I'm the Drake of clickbait on YouTube. This is a fact. I'm the feature. Mention my name, put my name in the title, they gonna click it, right? So I think that's what it was, because he left, everything was cool, and then 2-3 weeks later, he screaming something crazy about he got some federal paperwork. You know, I've never dealt with the feds. He said it was coming, he said he had it. But guess what? It's gonna make me now. Next thing you know, the next morning, he's talking about having a boxing match with somebody. Me and Charleston White going on a tour. Remember, him and Charleston White was running skits. You see, I don't do the skits like that. So now he can't never be in front of me like that and be cool because you play the game. I don't play games. I don't do the plays of let's fake this or fake that. Unless we on Clubhouse entertaining the goo, which me and R&B would do from time to time, or my other people, we'd be like, all right, listen, this happened last week. I'm gonna bring it up and we're gonna run up the conversation. It goes where it goes. Half these dummies don't realize R&B laying right on the side of me while we battling. You know? But that's that platform. But as far as play them games like that, I don't play them games. I can't tell you what he talking about.
What do you think about Young Thug being cool with YF and Lucci, but not Woody or Gunna?
I think Young Thug is letting people know I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna use y'all how I want to use y'all. I'm gonna be real, bro. Shit, you can't get mad at the shepherd for sacrificing the sheep. You there to be sacrificed. This why I don't deal with sheep. Every man around me, I'm gonna feel what they feel. I'm not gonna ask a man of nothing that I wouldn't ask of myself. So you can't be mad at the shepherd because he sacrificed the sheep. You can't be mad. Be mad at your damn self. You the sheep. Who else he supposed to sacrifice? But he moving like that. And this is why it led to what it led to. You know, I don't allow sheep around me. Every man around me is capable of what I'm capable of. That's why we got a great understanding. You get what I'm saying? They family, they kids, and they mamas and daddies is always taken into consideration just as mines are. So I'm not mad at Thug for playing his hand. That's his hand. You know, Thug already said, he said, man, Woody half slow in the head. He's expandable. You know, it's a million of them niggas out there. You ain't got no shoes, here go some shoes, a Snicker, here go a soda pop, take this 38, you wanna drive that car, it's stolen, but when you get away, come back, I got 2,500 in a bucket for you. And he running out the door like he Roger Rabbit. He's the bozo. All Woody is letting us know is that you was expandable, you let him tell you what to do and move you how he moved you. Woody wouldn't have no money, he didn't start making a little money until after he took the stand on his own. So it was a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I wish him the best, but you can't be mad at Thug for utilizing somebody for what they there to be utilized for. Niggas, you mad at the tractor for plowing the field? Is the car mad at you for driving it? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yeah, for sure.
You can't be mad at him. You were a crash dummy, a flea zonky, a bozo wozo. You was fresh off the banana boat born tomorrow. He threw you away. The only thing he didn't do was have somebody to execute throwing you away. Because that's how that's supposed to go. Crash, 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 you know too much. Yo, y'all go handle that, make sure he don't come back, see you. And it just keeps going. The Italian Mafia told us that in the movies. Get rid of him. So, you know, that's all that is. He can't be mad at Thug. He knew he was a flunky. What else was he?
Yeah, I don't know too much about their relationship. I don't know.
It was go crash. He couldn't tell the hey, bro, go read my kids a book. He can't read. What else was he good for? He wasn't rapping.
He wasn't rapping, producing.
Yeah, so, you know, bosses always make up with bosses. Always. Always. some extent because they know if we don't, it limits and minimizes our movement on what we can and can't do. Boss is always gonna find an equal medium there. It's just real talk.
Gucci Mane has came out and revealed that he's schizophrenic. And that was the cause of a lot of his problems in the past.
50% of the people in the streets are schizophrenic. We all knew Gucci was burned out. We didn't watch Gucci display that on several occasions. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna tell you this. What Gucci talking about? If y'all really wanna know the real deep truths of Gucci, I'm gonna tell y'all where to find it. See, he just wanna tell y'all I'm schizophrenic. Go get that new book he just dropped. He tell you everything. I don't know why Gucci allowed himself to publish this book with these things in this book. And I know a lot of people ain't went and got it. But if you go read that book, your eyes gonna get this big. And it's gonna let a lot of you dudes know that got a problem and don't wanna admit you got a problem. You're gonna see that you got a problem because you're gonna be reading about yourself. But Gucci letting you know his future and his hope, even if you got a problem, because he's proof of the success. Yeah, Gucci, bro, you forgot when Gucci went crazy the last time? He went to the barbershop, robbed the people in the barbershop. He exposed that he used to Nicki Minaj in 1999 hotels. He knocked on his homie door, I think robbed the mama. I mean, shit, if it take for Gucci to tell you 10, 15 years later that he got a problem, then you slow. But if you really want to know Gucci's real deep, dark problems, secrets, go cop his book. He just released it. It's a tell-all.
I knew he was crazy when he got in that situation where he hit that guy with the bottle, and the guy came out and said, yeah, I just asked him for a picture, and he hit me with a bottle. I was like, damn, that's pretty wild.
Maybe Gucci was with his woman, and when he asked for the picture, maybe Gucci heard, hey, I want a liquor. And because he heard, hey, I want a liquor, he gave him the liquor. Bam, the bottle. Bars.
Yeah.
Shout out to my nigga Gucci. I mean, Gucci and my brother P is very close, very tight. So, you know, at the end of the day,
glad he's doing better.
Right or wrong, I'm gonna stand with bro. Control. Me and Gucci always been good. Gucci did some shit to me that he don't know today what he did to me. Remember that scene in Good Rich or Die Trying when dude was trying to bring in the new contract for 50 and he was in the booth and 50 got to set a bar and he like, well, there go your answer right there. I'll never forget we was in Pacifique or something studio in North Hollywood. And Gucci coming in, I believe it might have been, he was doing a feature for Game. I remember nephew Mars, I think it was Mars, was doing the production. And Gucci had put the snow cone, the ice cream cone on his face, right? So while he in the booth, I'm asking Game, I'm like, dog, why that nigga put that ice cream shit on his face, man? What's wrong with that? And right when I asked him in the booth, he said, ice cream on my face because it's my face. I swear to God, I know he didn't hear me ask it, but you know, it kind of like made me feel like, okay, the homie a little burnt. But that's him. He's gonna do what he wanna do. He got a down-ass female by him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need. You know what I'm saying? You need, every man needs that on his side. Because we will fall short. We will lose focus. We come from women. It takes a woman in your life to have your balance. But it takes the right woman. And you don't know your balance until that right woman comes into your life. You know when you're forcing it through obligation because you're not happy and your other things grab your attention. But when you got that right woman in your life, your balance is there. You see, Gucci has no problem with his wife taking lead on conversations on major platforms. It's called trust. Trusting that she has his best interests. You know what I'm saying? So trusting that when I'm down, she gonna keep me up.
I hear that. Well, NBA YoungBoy has been on a crazy tour.
Yeah.
I mean, this tour is, big. He's been killing it.
Yeah.
You know, what's your thoughts on it? And did you go to the LA show?
No, I didn't go to none of the shows.
Okay.
I haven't attended none of the shows. Haven't attended anybody's shows. When I'm in the middle of like a bunch of deals and a bunch of business, I kind of shut down, isolate myself. See, this is where experience kicks in. Of coming from the streets, being in the world and of the world for so long, making good decisions and bad decisions. So what I tend to do is I eliminate the possibility of certain things happening. Think about it. Everybody we hear a problem occurred with, this dude, you just showed me in Chicago.
Bezu.
He didn't think that was gonna happen in the parking lot. Tupac didn't think that was gonna happen on Las Vegas Boulevard, right? People didn't think that somebody was gonna throw some water at him, they was gonna react. So I support in the ways I'm asked to support, but when I got too many deals going on and open, we got a club in Hollywood, Florida, opening up. We in the middle of permits. Nothing but sports, NBS, a whole broadcast that we just closed a multi-million-dollar deal on with Truth Media, which is ran by Jared Flood, who runs Trump Media, right? We got boxing matches we're obligated to put on. We got one November 7th coming on, another one January 10th, Holidale Casino. I'm kind of like in my Don King mode of finding these boxers is undefeated. I just got the Biggs brothers. One is like 7-8-0, other one like 13-14-0. They'll be down at the event November 7th. They're gonna be competing January 10th. We got 10 fights. We got a WBC bout that's happening. Not only that, we have a whole nother side of it that we're creating just for content and movies and all that. So I'm kind of in TV land / trying to learn and understand it because it's new to me, and becoming a boxing promoter. Blueface is coming home. I got 4 big deals I'm doing with that. It's touring, it's boxing, it's music, and a TV show. And, other things that we're doing. Credible Diapers going through a rebranding situation. Different partnerships, different things going on with that. So me going to a YoungBoy concert, I gotta say, okay, you gotta drive there. You gotta go in there. You gotta be around people, right? There's a risk of accident, being pulled over by the police, getting into an altercation. Getting into an altercation with me is just not normal because you're facing criminal and possibly civil. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of be like real, picky about what you choose to do. Once I close out a few things, I think by summer 2026, things will be up and rolling on autopilot. Me and the team, we're gonna get back out there with it. But right now, I'm at the table. We in the think tank.
Well, he recently just started performing his song, Hate YoungBoy.
Yeah.
And in this song, he got some lyric that says, dude, I'm a real blood and I'm screaming black. What's your thoughts on that? And with YoungBoy and, everybody's saying that he's a blood or he's been a blood for a while.
First and foremost, I think NBA YoungBoy is a man. Secondly, part of the team. Thirdly, him and Stunner is very close. I'm very tight with his management team, and me and YoungBoy have had several conversations. I think YoungBoy has proven he stands a man against whoever. Jay Prince challenged him. Few people didn't challenge him. He done stood the course of time. I think right now, If nephew want to speak his truth, if that's his truth, that's his truth. He's been challenged. He's been tried. He prevailed. What's wrong with a man speaking his truth?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to him and Blueface doing something. You know, I got a few big features lined up. Burna Boy, you know, I've been doing business with Burna Boy. He told me he gonna get in there with nephew. NBA Young Boy said he gonna get in there with nephew. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that. But, you know, Young Boy's killing it, man. He's selling out. And what I'm seeing is no matter how much negativity the press and the powers that be try to pump at his shows, he's still drowning that out. Oh, this happened, we canceling. Usually when you see big cities like Illinois and Detroit, places like this, Atlanta, whatever, canceling, people follow suit. No, the mother city said, well, come back, double up. You was here a month ago. It ain't stopping the train. You know, Young Boy is our next Wayne, Kanye. He's gonna cross over into being a rock star. Straight up, you can't stop it. The train is moving.
Man, he's got one hell of a loyal fan base. I mean,
definitely.
These guys love him.
He earned that. He earned that. And I stand with him. I stand with Stunner. You know what I'm saying? I stand with his management team. You know what I'm saying? You know, they know who they are. And I wish him the best of luck in his endeavors, and I hope he keep growing. And I'm going to be there for him as he there for us. And it is what it is. I mean, everybody hates Young Boy, right? That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, man, I've been seeing this whole Bricc Baby situation where one of his homies, I guess, allegedly snitched on him and told the cops he had the guns at his house?
That's Flacco. That's Flacco work.
That? Okay.
No, it was a case in July 2022. It's in his indictment, it's in his paperwork.
Okay.
Parking lot shooting.
Okay.
And he had informed 600 back in June 2023 when he get caught with the AK and the other guns and ammunition, 11 months later. Now he goes from the parking lot shooting to this, that he's being pressed to go at 600, myself, and Loose Cannon on the internet because dude is threatening to release this tape and turn it in to the feds. This is what he say. He also told us that a big indictment was coming. We just listening to him. He also mentioned a Las Vegas murder. All of this he got at the time we didn't know from the feds because he had already crossed over and was cooperating with him. And 2 months later, Big U got picked up that month in June. He got picked up again in August. And when we went to read the indictment, probably about 3-4 months before he got picked up, Bricc Baby had kind of like pulled back on a lot of the BS he was doing with 600 and Loose and myself. Every time he'd take some shots, and he had started to cross over. When he was, you know, I do gay things sometime, I do this. He was trying to like kind of put himself in the lane with another crowd because he knew whatever was coming. But when we read his indictment, sure enough, it was right there. So he's telling us the individual that has the tape. So when we read the indictment and they got the tape, they have the tape. He told us who had the tape. He said, man, I don't want to do this, man, but dude is telling me if I don't, he got a tape of me blicking, sparking at some fools in the, you know, now 600, if I call 600 right now, he'll tell you straight up who it is. He don't care. You get what I'm saying? That was a conversation between the 6-0 and the 6-0. But it's a whole lot of stuff going on, bro. Everybody that's in the streets need to stay in the house and find somewhere else to go, bro. It ain't right. And it's gonna get wronger.
Man, it's cold out there, man.
Yeah.
It seems like damn near nobody's standing on anything.
Yeah, you got a lot going on, man. You got, damn homie, she didn't rebranded her platform. You know, she giving the cats that represent the made men, or what they call the 50-50 yard, a voice to tell their truth. The Munchie B statements for the peanut butter shit in the county jail. Now we got real bloods, real homies that was putting in work, that was in there. Yeah, that happened. K5 from BNG, right? Whatever he got going on right now, that's cool. I don't know what he got going on right now. But I do know while he was in that county, dude had control say so, and he was one of the generals in that county jail, right? And he's saying, hey bro, what 4 Leaf had done to you really happened. It's real homies stepping out saying that happened. This happened. HK from Black P Stones. Oh, they on the 50-50 yard now. We ain't talking about the CDC. We talking about the LA County Jail. When you mention these people's names, it was respected, especially K5, right? So at the end of the day, you know, you got everything's being rebranded. People really don't care. They just want to hear the stories, you know what I mean? And you know, the truth is coming out. You know, I can't really be getting into it with disabled people. You know what I'm saying? You know, dude park in the front of Walmart. We got to find a spot in the parking lot. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, he gonna always beat me to the door of bullshit because he got a parking lot in the front. You get what I'm saying? On some real shit. So, and what I'm gonna do? You know, they already told me, you know, a few of his homies and slapped him up. Like Munchie been slapped up by his homies, and I got a call today, his homeboy, Red Eyes. Bam! Slapped the glasses all off his face. They like, Wack, dude got a mouth. We don't think he know he bleeds eye. You know what I'm saying? So he got a lot that didn't went on. And dude, like he talk, but what you gonna do, man, nigga, 120 pounds. You get what I'm saying? What you gonna do? Like, you know, what you gonna do? You know, I'm glad he found a way to generate some income and do some shit, but you know, in a minute, he gonna antagonize somebody, because if somebody already putting his hands on, Red Eyes already and slapped the shit out of him. Munchie, that's a fact, right? He from families. What's next? They didn't already tried to turn his TV off once. They just blew his light bulb. He keep on, something gonna happen. You know, the gangbang lane of content is phasing out. We have single-handedly destroyed the politics of Los Angeles. 600, Rick Rock, Wack100, Munchie B, and Hefe, No Jumper, Street TV, Capone, Loose Cannon, Bricc Baby, and now Flacco is playing janitor. He taking it all and mixing it up in one gumbo funk and airing it out. So this point in time is like, you know, you gotta have something else to talk about. You know, but a lot of these dudes that come from the land, they don't know how to talk about nothing else. It could be a story right in front of them, they don't know how to navigate through it. You get what I'm saying? Because they only know what they know. If it ain't within inner city Los Angeles, they don't know nothing about. I can talk about what's going on with Gilbert. I can talk about this. I can talk about that. I know Gilbert Arenas. I know Joe Isgro. I just took my wife to meet Joe Isgro yesterday, right? You know, because I'm seeing Gambino family, Genovese family. I'm seeing all these families and organized crime shit that I've never seen in my lifetime in current paperwork. I've never seen that. You know what I'm saying? We've seen movies and we read about old things and, you know, goddamn shit from the early 90s, but to see something right now, to see that mixed off into that, you know what I mean? Then you can go down and sit down with people and have them conversations. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to do that. And, you know, I'm not like these little dudes. I give them a shot even doing the back and forth, but they little dudes. You know what I'm saying? They restricted to their block. They ain't been nowhere. They ain't got no stamps in their passport. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what the inside of Tom Bradley look like. They ain't never been in the tunnels underneath LAX. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, I tell a dude, check this out. Meet me at Versailles December 8th, right? I got a check for you for $1 million. He don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I want you to fly in the Heathrow, right? And the next morning, take the bullet, the 9 o'clock bullet AM over, and then when you get there, take a taxi to Versailles, got $1 million check. They couldn't navigate. They don't know I'm telling them, fly to London, take the bullet train to Paris, get your thing and meet me at Versailles. They don't know. So it's like a lot of these people, you know, I don't hate to toot my horn, but you know, I've been places, I've been things, my mind is elsewhere, and I really don't give a about gang banging. I don't give a about these streets. I give a about helping people get out the streets, and I believe that's my next movement. I kind of know what I want to do. I'm gonna get me a representative that's a Crip from all different sides. I give me a representative that's a Hoover, a Paru, and a straight blood. I'm even gonna reach out, you know, to some others, our Samoan comrades, and I've been putting together this team, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna help them, and let's see how real they are, where they help the other people on a legal run that don't cost money. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching them like, what could people do? We always like, start a business, start this, but you know what cats could do? That a dude in the streets will be real good at if you put it in front of him and give him a study guide? Day trading. Dude could come with a couple hundred. Okay, you supposed to be that from your neighborhood? Get the clean people. What y'all got, 10,000? Okay, I'm gonna sit you down with the people that's gonna show you how to day trade. You get what I'm saying? Y'all open up a corp and let a percentage go that and pay each other as an officer or as an employee of that company. Right? I done put together like 5 people that say, Wack, we assist you in that. You know, the life insurance game. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting together a little package, cats getting out the joint, cats is on the street that want to do something. Because I got the resources. I got the people that'll open up their doors to their buildings and create a division for me. And that's gonna probably be my last push, but you got to be legal. If I think you're doing something illegal, we can't have you a part of it. Straight up, you know what I'm saying? So I told my attorneys, go sit with law enforcement and draw these contracts up, because the people that's gonna be on point, they need to be held responsible for their people. This is for legal money only. You get what I'm saying? You can't throw the dirty money in here, because then it'll say, it's a RICO, we're organized. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what this is about. And I hate to say it, ninjas will put you in the trick bag because they selfish. So this is gonna be my last run at them. If this don't work for them, because this is something I can give the game to all the tribes, and they can continue to teach the game. Like they taught the dope game and the robbery game and the pimp game and all this game and the drug distribution game. This is a game that you can teach everybody up under you and your neighborhood can flourish. You know, it'll be a little game from a valley guy. You know, we got great schools in the valley.
Man, that's what's up. You know, hopefully that works. I don't know too much about day trading, but you know.
Yeah, I got a relative that's in it. My relative Adonis. I called him Gletner. You know, it's a family name, but
he does good in it?
Great. He does it for like 3-4 hours a day.
Wow.
Does great. I've been watching him. You know, and it's a lot of money in it. Don't take a lot of money to get into it. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put together a whole situation with it, and we're gonna see what happens. Hey, either they jump on board or they don't. Some of them might say, I don't with Wack, that's cool, I don't with you, I don't care. You know, I just feel like I got a slight obligation to help teach something that's real and clean and legal, without it being so far-fetched out of reach.
I want to take it back a little bit, man.
Let's go.
You know, I think we kind of touched on, your first case, but I don't think I knew that, you were one of the first people to get charged as an adult.
Yeah.
How old were you?
16.
Okay. And this was in the 90s.
Yeah, what it was, I started doing time young, 12.
Oh, okay.
So I know it's weird because I see people, I don't know if people slow. They be like, he went to prison for a BB gun. Like, I be seeing this shit all the time, right? everything that people know about me, I tell the people. Like I tell you about this case, this happened. I tell people this shit. I go on Clubhouse and I just tell stories. And my first case, I was 12 years old. I had a CO2 pellet gun. Took the air cartridges and me and a few of my friends was in the back shooting cans. I came in to change my air canister and reload. And I think one of my friends maybe had missed a can and maybe hit a kid across the way. Hispanic man comes to my mom's door. I'm in there reloading. I just put a fresh CO2 canister. I done loaded my shit up. I think at the time it held like 50 pellets or something. When I'm coming to the door, I hear talking to somebody. Dude, his English is broken. And my mother didn't know we was back there shooting cans. She didn't know. So when he saw me with my thing, he was like, him. She's like, no, he's been in the house. Maybe it's somebody in the backyard. And dude got frustrated because he had a little boy about 10 years old. I knew I didn't do it because it was a little, my shit hit you, it was gonna tear something. And he got frustrated. He was like, nah, bitch, him. So I ran up on him and started feeding him the pellets. To his face, he grabbed me, but he couldn't control me, and I just kept squeezing. I think it got overbearing for him, and dude just kind of like passed out. I hit him probably about 20-something times, and I was on the run from there. I went on the run. So that's the first case, and they charged me with assault with a deadly weapon, non-firearm. I ran for about 3-4 months, got caught. I think I did a track 2 camp program or so. Did about 4-5 months, 6 months. Got out, went back, went to YA for attempted murder, beat the attempted murder. They still sent me to YA to do 9 months. I did about 2 years off that. Catching time, I was in Nellis Gladiator School. You know, you blooding back then, you partying back then, you gonna catch time. And then I came home and caught that other quick case. I caught another assault with deadly weapon, 2 charges, assault with deadly weapon, firing into a vehicle, firing into an inhibited dwelling of a home, discharging firearms in city limits. One of the victims didn't want to take the stand, and the other one took the stand. And then that's what I ultimately went to prison for, because Sacramento.
So how young were you when you went to prison?
16.
Okay, they sent you to an adult prison at 16 years old?
16.
Why did they do that?
Well, the juvenile system didn't want to let me back in there. They sent me to do a 90-day observation. And I did some, I didn't think it was crazy, but I victimized somebody the first couple days I was there. They sent me to Drake Cottage, and I was under a 90-day number. So the rookie that was there didn't hit continue to see my old YA shit. And they put the wrong person in my room. And I remember Lieutenant Hazel, or Sergeant Hazel, was running that building at that time. And, they sent me back, and they sent a letter that was unfavorable. They pretty much told the judge that due to my level of manipulation and sophistication, they wasn't gonna allow me back in the juvenile system. So it was either I signed off to go, or they put me in a hole, and then I wait till I turned a certain age. I wasn't going for that. I was already trained for it. I've been to camp a couple times. YA is a junior penitentiary. Actually, at the time, YA was probably just as dangerous and not more dangerous than the penitentiary, depending on what YA you went to. You know what I'm saying? You went to TS, DeWitt, Fred C. Nellis, Chad, shit like that. Them youth authorities was rocking and rolling. Same politics going on. You get what I'm saying? Racial and same shit going on. But
what happens when you first get to an adult prison?
Shit, nigga, I went to intake. I hit Delano. I was in the cell with the homeboy Baby Wayne, rest in peace, from Villagetown, Paru, and we fought every day. He knew what he was doing. You on swole, you got hands, let me get you better, you young. So we fighting every day in the cell. G homie, may he rest in peace. I assisted in helping him read and write.
I guess you landed in a tank full of Crips?
Oh, yeah, when they picked me up, what they call the Gray Goose, that transports you from LA County to the penitentiary, The Grey Goose left LA County and had to go to Central Juvenile Hall to pick me up. I'm in Juvenile Hall. So sure enough, they pulled up. We was on school movement. They like, he don't need nothing. He can't take it anyway. And they put me on the bus with all the adults. And even then, they caged me, put me in the front cages. So we went to Delano, and we got Delano. They separate the Mexicans and the blacks. It might have been about 13, 14 black. I was the only blood in the that was black, on the bus. So everybody was saying where they from or whatever. I banged my neighborhood. I'm young, I'm full of fire. I got about 18 and a half. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. And the old saying, we got us one. All we got is one. That's usually what they say when they finna pack you out. It was an OG in there named Big Fish from Rolling 60s. Big Fish, rest in peace now. Died a couple years back. And Big Fish stood up and said, nah, homie, claim this neighborhood. Y'all can give him a head up fade. Which one of y'all want to get out with this swole youngster so we can laugh about it when we get to the yard? Or let it be. Because they would have packed me out. It was a bunch of them. But Big Fish definitely did that. Me and Big Fish ended up catching the chain from Delano to Soledad together, actually. And I seen him get into a real brutal fight with Devil from 107 Hoover. Both of them was about the same size, stocky, bald head, wide. And, it was a learning experience. But shout out, I give a lot of credit.
Wait, Devil.
You hear OG, I think Devil might have been from Salos, from 107.
Wait, that's not the guy that Gumby got into it with, is it?
I don't know.
Wasn't his name Devil too?
I don't know, but I don't know which one that was. You got 4 Trey to the one way with them, so you got 4 Trey, 5 Deuce, 5-9, 7-4, 8 Trey, 9 Deuce, 9-4, 11 Deuce, 107. You got a lot of Hoovers. So I don't know what Devil Gumby had a situation with. But I got to Soledad, and Soledad back then, I don't know about now, was blood headquarters. That was the most bloods in the prison system was located, Soledad. And I had a couple G homies. My homie Georgie Rue, rest in peace, who is Conrad's dad. I remember Conrad was little. Conrad from 6-0.
Yeah.
Georgie Rue from Ludus Park, rest in peace. Lil Man from 6 Deuce Brim, who's a lifer, he's free now. And the homeboy Fat Rat from Black Peach Stone, he was the closest one to my age. Fat Rat might have been 22, 23. And I was on the yard so wild putting in work that it was a problem. The homies was like, had an issue, but Lil Man was like, the little homie bang it. And he just told Fat Rat, hey, give him the game, teach him the ropes, make sure he doing the right thing, and shit, we gonna stand with him. And going to that older prison first was a blessing because I was able to learn the right things to do and what not to do. Because every prison after that I went to was a newer prison, Pleasant Valley, New Corcoran, shit like that. You know what I mean? But I got laced in the old prison set. Red Eyes from Fruittown, Paru. It's a lot of G homies that's on the street now that was doing life back then. Big Lalo, M Train, Joe Buddha from PDL. These was my first cellie was dude named Drac from Palo Alto Lowriders. This had been locked up 16 years. Damn near long I've been living. You see what I'm saying? So it was kind of like my lacing and my training was cool. It's funny because Dub C's engineer, and I didn't know it till Dub said, hey man, my engineer said he was your cellie for a minute, but you was too crazy and he didn't gang bang and you didn't believe him and you kept thinking he was a Crip, like you wanted to do something to him. I said, he from Gardena? He said, that's him, my man Rob. And Rob still keeps in contact with me today. And Rob was in there for some robberies or something, but when he told me Gardena, I'm banged out. You know what I'm saying? Soledad, we wearing colors and, I'm like, you a Crip. Where you from? You from Shotgun, right? He like, nah, man, I just live in Gardena. I do robberies. And I think Rob started feeling uneasy, like I was on some BS. He moved out, but even right now today, we keep in contact. So yeah, I did. I came home at 22. Caught a violation, thinking City Walk was still clean, because before I left, none of the black people knew about City Walk. So that's where I would take my girlfriend to the movies. I would drive to City Walk. You know, I was 13, 14. Had Cadillacs, El Caminos. I was doing my thing. So when I come home this time, I'm not knowing. Everybody know about City Walk. I get up there, and me and my homeboy Bebo happened to be up there at the same time. May he rest in peace. And we got into a fight with a bunch of Crips. And it was a dude named Robbie Robinson, gang task force, who knew everybody from my neighborhood. And I got away, but he kind of spotted me. So they violated me. I did like 9.
What was the fight like?
It was it was different, because, you know, when you used to them prison fights, you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody in prison is working out. They up to speed. On the street, you know, they be out of shape. They ain't got no wind. They really ain't got no strength. So you kind of run through cats, unless you run into some cats like you. And I think really, I don't think the dudes we end up fighting really wanted to fight. You just ran into two fools that just got out and hit us up. And they hit us up real aggressive. So at that point, we didn't even talk. We just got off, and it turned into like a melee. It was crazy, because it was about 8 or 9 of my homies up there, but we didn't know we was up there. People seeing the confusion and people running to it, and I kept hearing, "Oh, blood, them the homies." You know what I'm saying? So the thing got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So, you know, I did 9 months, and on that joke is when I kind of really made my decision. I got off into the truck, and I studied the truck driving book, memorized it. I put together a company. This is when my mind went to corporate America, called Convenience 2000. My man Phalo, little Asian dude out of San Diego, did all my tattoos and shit. You know what I'm saying? He did my album cover, my book cover. I wrote a book called Infiltration. That was led to my first meeting in music, which was with Dub C. My man Al Pittman out of West Side Paul Rule, who was Exhibit's bodyguard, set that meeting up for me. You know, it's a lot of history there, man. It's a lot of people still on the street, you know what I'm saying? But I give a lot of my lacing and understanding of what that penitentiary was and what to expect and how to move to the homeboy Lil Man, 6 Deuce Brim. He's out now. He was doing life. He did 27, 28. He's paroled, electrician, off parole. You know what I'm saying? Doing his thing. You know, he really was what a G homie supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of extended that to other homies as I did time, to have that understanding. When a homie hit the yard wild, you know what I mean? Just because your program may be disrupted, you got to remember how you was back then. You got to have patience with them. You know what I mean? And proof is in the pudding. There's a lot of cats on the street I did time with. Mousy, my nigga Mousy from LA Lanes. You know, my Deuce from LA Lanes. A lot of cats, Fat Rat, Lil Man. A lot of cats on the street. Dude, did you interview dude? Is it Blue Rag?
Yep.
Yeah, me and Blue Rag go back to juvenile hall.
I think you mentioned that.
Oh no, yeah, Blue Rag he was a rider. We was both on Swole. You had Swole, me, Blue Rag, Babyface, Damian Washington from 4 Trey Gangster, Black Blood, Robert Jones from PDL. It was that group of cats that niggas was real big, wrecking shit. And Blue Rag was some do-rock. And I remembered, I was looking at him when I hit him on his DM. I said, "Bro, you from do-rock? You was in there?" He said, "Yeah, Wack, it's me. I've been waiting on you to hit me." But he was real quiet, dude, but he handled his business. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of us out here, man. And I like the fact that you don't hear us like how we see these new generations going at each other. You don't see us doing that with each other. Because it was hogs. You know what I'm saying? We gonna give credit where credit's due. It was hard. My Deuce was wrecking shit. You know what I'm saying? Looney B from Black Peace Zone was wrecking shit. You know what I'm saying? Lil B, Lunch Meat from Crenshaw Mafia, wrecking shit. Taco from NHP, which is Rucci's daddy. You know, I did time with daddies. You know what I'm saying? Wrecking shit. You know what I'm saying? Twin, Baby, Twin 3 from Waterfront Paru, Record shit, Mobile, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us was riders. My Ruck Dog from Insane. You know what I'm saying? I think Ruck got life. Sinbad, rest in peace. Roddy Root from Villagetown, Paru, who was a YA worker, so he was grown in Nellis. He was like 20, he was doing YA life. You know what I'm saying? So he was like 24. So to us in Nellis, he was like older. But he had, YA life was 25, 11 months, 29 days, they let you go. So, you know, a lot of us is on the streets now, man. And, you know, I'll be glad to you know, speak to our people and know we out here still, you know, and that we can do something. We got to really do something together. That may be the podcast out of all podcasts where you, Vlad, Adam, all y'all got to come together and not just get a gang of people who's been on social media. A few of them haven't been on social media. My M-Rock, Six Deuce Brim, Michael Walton, Wrecking Shit, Ryder, Rock the Bells, Baby Sonny, like, is on the street. You know, niggas want to hear some stories on really what it really was. We made it popular and okay for you to walk them lines and be a blood, as if our G homies before us did it before us. You get what I'm saying? I got people from my neighborhood I may not particularly care for, but cats like Be Crazy, you know what I'm saying? You know, them made it possible for us to come through. Even though it was a challenge, when they came through, it wasn't even an opening. You get what I'm saying? So if they got us to the 30-yard line, the generation behind that got us to the 40 and so on and so forth, to where now it's in style to be a Damu nowadays.
Okay, that makes me, you know, remember when I was a kid, you know, I don't know how true it was, but I used to hear people say all the time that, like, the Bloods were way outnumbered against the Crips. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, it was like, you know, for every Blood, there was like 5 Crips.
That's my generation. Before that, my G homies, it was even worse for them. My nigga Thump, Red Ass, you know what I'm saying? T-Bone, Be Crazy, and Be Crazy led the pack. You know, we don't see eye to eye, but I can't take that from him, what he did for the set, opening up them doors like that. You know what I'm saying? Tubby, you know what I'm saying? G homies, you know, it was 10, 12 to 1. You get what I'm saying? B Capone, and you know what I'm saying? Like that, it was 10, 12 to 1. So it wasn't in style. You have to be, that's why today a lot of Crips that I'm cool with is because they watched us go through what we went through. And it's been a lot of times where they'll be like, nah, that nigga held his own, y'all bag up. But guess what? It's been times where they come through spots where we was at, and we remember that respect, and we return it. Cause my homie Pooh Rider, he created the Beehive in Supermax. 90% Bloods in there. But he was doing time like I was doing time for as a kid. So Crips he had did time with, they going there with him, with all the Bloods. They said, it's Bo Lavish in here because they can get a head up fade. They ain't got to worry about the Crip on Crip shit. And Pooh Rider was running the dorm, so it was love. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think times is different now. You know what I'm saying? People can communicate. You know, I get calls from everybody. Whether it's Gumby, whether it's from 40s, niggas from East Coast, all my Damu cats, Paru cats, you know what I'm saying? My from Insane, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's a little different. And we kind of working towards it, getting back to what it really was supposed to be, just protection of your neighborhood and the people in your neighborhood, and killing off the just want to do something to somebody based upon the color. At some point, we got to stop. Shit didn't happen on all sides, hit reset, and then continue on with it. Law enforcement ain't playing. They passing out football numbers. A lot of our youth ain't making it past 23. You get what I'm saying? It ain't no future in it. So either we gonna continue it, or cats in my age group, they just get away from it.
A lot of people just say and just move away.
Yeah, that's a fact. A lot of people still staying there and they try to make it right.
When I was in high school, I had a friend of mine who was a Pyru, and I remember when the song "Today Was a Good Day" came out from Ice Cube, and in between like the the chorus after the second verse and the third verse, there's a part where they're at the cemetery and the blue rag comes up and the red rag goes down. And my friend did not like that. He was very upset.
He was pretty much saying,
about that.
They were pretty much saying, I don't really remember that scene, but I believe I was in Nellis when that song hit. But yeah, our mentality says, Ice Cube association and affiliation comes from 111 Neighborhood Crips, as Dub C's does as well. So back then, we talking early 90s. So he's gonna see that and be like, oh, he dissing the flag. You know what I'm saying? You put the flag in the grave. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even call a flag a rag, it was disrespect. So, I get it, you know what I mean? We had the banging on wax tapes out back then, you know what I'm saying? Shit was a little, to this day, have not heard the Crip side. I tried to listen to a song, I got through about 30 seconds and couldn't take it. Way back then.
You never listened to the Crip side?
But I'm pretty sure some Crips that never listened to the Blood side. Because the homies was banging, you know what I'm saying? Red Rum, Big Y, Stretch, Lil Stretch, you know what I mean? They was banging, shout out to Big Stretch. He back in there fighting this case, bounty hunters, but the homies was, they was saying some shit, you know what I'm saying? So, if the blue rag is rising and the red rag is going in the grave, that's a total disrespect. I don't think Cube would do that today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think,
so,
because from that came the West Side Connection, which was Mac 10 was a representation of our side of it. But I know you're gonna make me go back and watch that damn video.
It was crazy. It always stuck with me. I always remembered that, man.
So you grew up in the IE.
Yeah, Rialto.
Right, Rialto. So it'd be a dude coming on Clubhouse, he'd be hollering some type of Crip gang. I don't know what the hell he be talking about. So they got like ghettos in Rialto, like.
Yeah. Rialto is like one of them good. Well, Rialto's a lot better than it is now, and there's a lot more black gangs now than there were when I was a kid.
Got you.
When I was a kid, there wasn't too many black gangs.
A lot of Hispanic gangs.
There's a lot of Mexican gangs. But yeah, there is. You got Jacksons, you got Shamrocks. Probably the bad parts on the north side. And then you got areas on the south side that are bad too.
Yeah, he be hollering shit. I said, bro, I don't really know nothing. I ain't saying it ain't. I just don't. I ain't never did no time with nothing with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is. But he be like mad because I don't know. I just don't know.
A lot of them are new. A lot of them are not. Old gangs either.
Got you.
Like maybe 10 years they've been around. So I don't know much about the new stuff either.
Yeah. I tell people, my range was like 89 to 99, 2000, 99 actually. After that, I was on a whole nother mission. Get off parole, find some employment, create some businesses. I was on a whole nother mission. You get what I'm saying? I hear some of these dummies say, you ain't been to the pen since 99. You probably wasn't even born. You was 8 years old when I paroled. What the f are y'all saying? You got to keep going to the pen every couple years? I don't get what these little dummies be meaning. You know what I'm saying? Going to the penitentiary really ain't gangster. You know what I'm saying? Being successful, being around to raise your kids and conducting business and traveling and being productive in society, that's what's gangster. So be like, well, shit, I've been home 26 years. Put myself in position when I call the case to be the case. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I heard Bricc Baby say I had 24 hours to present my paperwork for conspiracy to commit murder. Did you catch that one?
I did hear that. I didn't get the details of it though.
That be either. First of all, you got to show me why I had a case for conspiracy to commit murder. You got to show. That's like me saying, Cam Capone, I need to see your paperwork on that bank robbery.
Right.
You got 24 hours to show me your paperwork on the bank robbery. Well, if you ain't never been charged with bank robbery, how in the hell you gonna show some paperwork?
Right.
But Bricc Baby, I don't think he knows that we got all his paperwork. you've been charged with some cases and we don't see where they went. You get what I'm saying? You actually got a conspiracy to unalive your chick, pointing the blammer at her and the baby. Your mother telling you, boy, you on that phone, you know what's going on with your phone, and him saying, I'm tired of doing what the police telling me to do. All that's in the paperwork. You know, so where's that charge? Nigga, you a 5-time felon prior to this indictment. So we see what the feds got on you. Where's the documents? You get what I'm saying? I think he got a little mad that I exposed, that, his chick, whoever she is getting banged out by P-Funk, because he didn't know how I knew before he got booked that he got caught up. That was his thing. How did he know? And I would have thought to say, how the hell the only more? How he know? How he know? Nigga, I ain't even booked. But our last conversation when he called in on No Jumper, he said a few key details that let me know he know now who was beating them draws up, beating them cheeks up. You know what I'm saying? Them P-Funk niggas, we got a little bit of swag about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We tend to know how to attract, you know what I'm saying, certain situation and things, and got is clean in their presence. You know what I mean? It ain't her fault. You know what I'm saying? She got one that stay high and drunk and leaned out all day, who don't know how to talk. She got another that can articulate himself. You know what I'm saying? He keep himself fresh to death. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. She may not be fine enough to stand on the side of this man by day, but she may have it good enough to get hit by night. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's just the balance. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Oh, man, free everybody, man. We gonna keep going. None but sports. All you boxers out there who looking for some fights, we doing that in Florida. You know what I'm saying? You can follow us on _nothing-but-sports with a Z on Instagram. That just actually fired up today. Shout out to my man Steve Marcano, Ron Johnson, who holds our boxing license. And we building that, and we going about 3 or 4 platforms, but we're gonna be looking into boxing, football, basketball, baseball, Pop Warner. We're here to put the light on you youngsters and give you guys a lane that you haven't had, so the powers that be could come, want to do that business with you. And look forward to the Biggs brothers. They're gonna be there January 10th out of Brooklyn, stand up. Zab Judah put a lot of training into these youngsters. Kenzel Williams, Antonio Tarvers, boxer. Beast. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of good fights. So if y'all down in the Florida area, you looking for something to do, fly on down, Hollandale Casino, November 7th. Pull up, check us out. They got tables, bottle service, catering food. Not a big venue. We hold 1,500, but we can guarantee you fights. Brutal fights. We got 10 bouts. Main event is the WBC title on the line. Come check us out.
God, it's so sad, man. There's just been so many people that we've seen get killed from Chicago. It's like, it just, all the time, man. It's horrible.
Yeah, I got 3 cats I deal with, primarily JoJo Capone, my man Promise, nephew Kiddo Curry, and Chicago is a serious place. It's a lot of serious places that haven't been commercialized. St. Louis, very serious place. Baltimore, New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of serious, Portsmouth, Virginia. They got some serious places. They got little pockets in Boston, Beantown. Detroit, we know what that is, right? Milwaukee, they got some spots. So Minnesota, they got some spots. So, and Las Vegas is definitely one because it's a melting pot. Everybody from everywhere is through there. You know what I mean? So California been being worked on for about 15 years. It's still a little hot, but it's simmered down because a lot of the OGs communicate. My whole ride here, I'm on a line with my partner from Rolling 60s. You know what I'm saying? We discussing business and this, that, and other, and things he may need done, things he could do for me. So, you know, we have a line of communication, but a lot of these brothers is, you know, we got that age of 40 to 65 communicating. Remember, when it comes to gangs, we're probably the only area that have that organization to where I got G homie 65 years old, you know what I'm saying? And then I got homies that's under me that's, you know, I really think my youngest homie that I really deal with might be 38. Anything after that, you gotta talk to them, you know what I'm saying? I don't fraternize and talk to everybody, you know what I mean? So, you know, hopefully they can get it together. Hopefully we as a people can get it together. This is why I appreciated Charlie Kirk and his message. He looked like a
You
Charlie.
like Charlie Kirk?
I appreciate his message. You don't appreciate his message?
Which message? He had a lot of them.
Even though his
Some
numbers,
stuff I agreed with, some stuff I didn't.
even though his numbers are slightly off, but they're kind of on point. Like the message, I didn't know who he was. It was kind of like a Nipsey Hussle effect to me, right? You may have heard his name but didn't know who he was until after his passing. You know, Nipsey I knew personally, right? But a lot of people seem to kind of like know who he was, or maybe they're claiming to know who he was at the time of his death. And he was young, maybe like 31. But for years, decades, we've heard our leaders, people like, you know, Honorable Louis Farrakhan, and various other leaders telling our people that we need to slow down with what we're doing to one another. We've heard it. And when we hear our people saying it, it kind of falls on deaf ears. You get what I'm saying? It falls on deaf ears. And but when I heard him say, in his sarcastic way, cocky way, black people represent 13% of the United States, but over 50% of the violence and murder rates is happening. I knew that black people were committing these acts. And I've heard our leaders say, hey, we need to stop this. But it wasn't until I heard him say it after his death that made me go research it. So when I researched it, yes, we represent 13%, 12.8, 12.9%, and the rate is probably in the 40s. But the reason why I still honor his 50%, because when it says black people represent 13% of the United States, we now have to factor in the babies and the elderly. So if we eliminate those people from being part of the problem of violence, now it's really like 8% committing these acts. And the fact that he said it, it kind of like motivated me and others to say, hey, let's change this up. You know what I'm saying? He a lot of times he kind of remind me of me a little bit. He says the things that other people scared to say. But if you can go over here and look it up and see it, right? What is he saying wrong? He got a right not to like certain people. I don't fight him on that. You know, that's his upbringing. The man is the same age as my son. So somebody taught him that. He don't come from that. You get what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't like scary movies. You get what I'm saying? So he got the right now. Maybe he been through something. Maybe, you know, his parents and maybe his older brothers, that's what they taught him. I don't really trip that. But I think it was a lot of truth in a lot of stuff he was saying. You know, you scared to speak your piece?
I'm definitely scared to speak my piece, man.
Why?
See,
so that lets me know you agree with him with some of the things.
Oh, well, you know, like I'm against abortion.
Okay.
You know, so
So
like
was he against abortion?
Yeah, he was against abortion. So some of the things I definitely agreed with. You know, some of the things I didn't agree with.
You know why he was against abortion, though, right?
No, I don't.
So this is what's happening now.
I just thought
this law was put into place way back when. If you got a certain percent of black in you, they deem you to be black, right? If you look up, it's a lot of interracial relationships and marriages. So now if you got 1 million white women who have sex with 1 million blacks or Hispanics and have children, right? Instead of it being a million Caucasian babies coming, now that's 1 million Hispanic or black babies coming into this world, right? Then you have more Caucasian women going to the abortion clinics than anybody else, right? So now they're not having the children that's by the white man, and then the white women that are getting impregnated by other races, those children are not born white. So the only way to try to get that number back right and solid, eliminate abortion and force those children here. That's real. You know, I get it. Me personally, I'm just I'm American, you know, I'm just on some human being, you know. Are you a white lives, black lives, or all lives matter guy? Which one are you?
Black Lives Matter for sure.
You Black Lives Matter? See, I'm an all lives matter guy. I can't say black lives are the only ones that matter, and I got friends that's Jewish, Caucasian, and you know, Hispanic, and you know what I'm saying? So all black lives are in all lives. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I just think that the movement was, you know, needed to bring attention from the police violence. You know, the Black People Matter.
Oh yeah? You think that's what the movement should have been about?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do.
It should have been.
That's what you think it should have about. So that movement, because this was George Floyd, right, kind of kicked off this movement, right?
Right.
So we had the one white guy, cop, allegedly unalive George Floyd, right? And it brought this big old thing. Things got burned down, marches, funding, all kind of things happened, right? All right. Well, let's say we get the white cops to all retire. Actually, all white cops only have desk jobs. So now they can't be in the field to shoot us or choke us and put their knee on the back of our neck. Is there still gonna be a murder rate on black people?
I mean, I would assume that, you know, anytime a gun is pulled out, you know, the person, anybody's gonna get shot, black, white, or brown.
9 out of 10 black men are killed by what violence? Police violence or black on black violence?
I would probably have to say black on black violence.
So even if we isolate the so-called white officers,
right?
Our problem.
The percentage of black people killed by the police is very, very, very.
So
very
now here go my question. So when little D-Dog come through the park to kill little Baby, but in process of killing little Baby, he hit Peanut and D-Crazy, an old lady and a kid. Why ain't they marching in the community on little D-Dog? How come they not holding little D-Dog responsible or his family responsible for his actions? Why isn't there any ruckus about what we are intentionally doing to ourselves? But as soon as one white officer, for whatever reason, in some of those situations, it may have been a little extreme, but I place some blame on the individual. When the cop tell you to get your ass on the wall, get on the wall. If you run and all this comes from that, right? It's like sometimes you gotta follow simple instructions. And not to say that the officers don't do wrong, but I'm just simply saying, when we gonna hold ourselves accountable? At what point in time? I've yet to see a march against the individuals that's doing these things actually in the neighborhood. I haven't seen it. You could really go march on a whole hood. If the whole community get together and you got one neighborhood coming through, putting in all this work, everybody else being peaceful, if all the people, the churches, all the residents, And, you know, law enforcement gonna join them. You got the Nation of Islam there. You got the Black Hebrew Israelites march up in them dudes' park and say, hey, man, little D-Dog need to be held accountable for this. Y'all keep going over here doing these things, right? Everybody else trying to have peace. Gangs don't have to continue the wars they've been fighting, because when gangs was created, some of them, not all of them, that wasn't created in a war. A lot of these wars started over women and drugs. You know, at one point in time, you got these little youngsters getting put on talking about something their enemy, and they don't even know why the beef started. So when we go, you know, at what point in time we gonna hold ourselves responsible or accountable? That's what I'm waiting to look for. So until then, I'm gonna look at the full scope. I'm gonna look at everything, the whole playing field. Okay, that cop shot dude unjustly. Let's do something about that. But what about dude them over here who getting a rep and getting popularity because he's shooting a bunch of people unjustly?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I hear you, man. It's, you know, the whole politics and all that stuff, it's a tough thing, man, because, you know, it seems like there's people, they're going to take their side, whether it be the police side or black people's side, no matter how wrong their side is.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's one of the main problems, is like you got people who they gonna ride with the police, and you got people they're gonna ride with black people, and no matter what happens or the video footage comes out, they're not, you know, they're just sticking to their side, man.
That's a fact. I'm a roll with the politics of what's right, what's wrong, and just call a spade a spade. You know, I don't mind being the underdog. I don't mind not getting the popularity vote. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I can't play sheep, you know, and our people, we need to work on ourselves, you know. You know, I watch you out, I check you out. It ain't your fault. But, you know, I'm watching all the podcasts, empowering and creating the new gangbangers of podcasting. I'm checking y'all out.
You think so? You're saying the podcasters are created the new gangbangers?
Yeah, I don't do that.
Well, okay,
You can't find that on my platform. You can't even come on my platform on Clubhouse disrespecting. I don't care what side you from. But I watched you do like 2-hour interviews with dudes don't nobody know, and shout out to them, where the whole thing is just based on gang banging and stories that's gonna incite and antagonize another gang member to want to create or commit some more violence on that gang member. Y'all getting a kick out of this. Y'all need to be held accountable. Adam, you know, he's shying away from it. You know what I'm saying? He's now kind of catering to those dudes that come from the streets that he think are a little more mature. You know, the Ant Half-Face. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, come from some, but they mature, and he's like, you know, giving them a lane to help assist them in what they doing. But yeah, I don't do that. But it seemed to me like y'all like to, they said, well, shit, Bricc baby in jail, this other dude in jail, he in jail, X4 in jail. So we gonna grab this other dude and let him tell us about his war stories of who they stopped out, stabbed up, beat up, and you know, we gonna promote this. See, you are helping justify, in a sense, Charlie Kirk and what he's saying are people all about. You interviewed Compton Rick Rock, right?
Yes.
Compton Rick Rock is really who he is. I know this man. Been knowing him over 2 decades and some change, right? You see the way he carry himself when you having a conversation with him?
Yep.
But then you just interviewed another dude, I don't know where he was from, bunch of tattoos on his face, had all his homies behind him.
Oh, Western Face.
Western Face, right? And shout out to Western Face, because Western Face is doing what he know to do. He's doing what he set back while he was in prison and saw what people was doing. And he like, shit, nigga, I'm this, I'm that. I'm good on the yard, I done did this, I'm gonna get out and tell my story. I'm more gangster than this dude and I get it, right? But you see the difference between the conversation with Western Face and the conversation with Compton Rick Rock?
Right. They're 2 different places in their life, for sure.
Compton Rick Rock very rarely will say something about an individual that's going to incite something else after his interview. I don't know the people Western Face was talking about, but he was telling some stories. And I'm going to be real. I believe he's pretty authentic in the stories he's telling. But I would hate Western Face and to watch him make those sacrifices. I think he was like 90 days to the house, 2 months or something to the house, and he went on a skit.
A few times.
And he ended up doing an extra like 8 years or so, right?
Right, yep.
I would hate to see him go through that and that sacrifice and then come to the streets and then put himself in a situation where he's looking at another 80 years. That's all I'm saying. It's a story he can tell, right? And I believe we have glamorized and glorified the wrong stories in the wrong way. He could tell his story in a way to where it's helpful, like, you know, letting the kids know, hey, look, man, this is why you don't want to go to prison. I was 2 months to the house and I was called upon. I wasn't forced, I had a decision, but because I was heavy into my banging and true to that, I did that and it got me this and it got me that. But you, Cam Capone, you took pride in using your platform to letting Western Face antagonize and go at others, right? And I'm not mad at you.
I'm just letting him tell his story.
I'm not mad at you because I know when it comes to business, that's what gets the views. This is what I do know. I know this for a fact. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at Western Face. Matter of fact, I really want to sit down with Western Face because he may not know another way. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And within watching him, I seen he can articulate himself. He had the same problem one of my little homeboys on Clubhouse used to have. And I believe R&B actually made a bet. Every other word was on Bloods, on Paul Rook. His name was Bumpy from Skyline Paul Rook. R&B challenged him to see if he could minimize it. And I think I bumped heads with him because I got tired of hearing him say it. Why? Because I know he's educating there's somebody else in there. You get what I'm saying? See, one thing a dude like Western Face could do with the kids today, he tatted up, he decorated, is he can get the kids' attention. But if he can deliver the right message, it's a whole lot of opportunities out there for him.
Yeah, definitely. He said that after our interview that he's gotten a whole bunch of opportunities. So he just texted me that today.
Yeah, I don't remember where he's from. I'm not a gangbanger. So I don't care with nobody. You Crip blood, whatever I don't care. I'm gonna respect you as long as you respect me. I'm from where I'm from, I'm always be from where I'm from. I'm a Valley boy, A18 from Pacoima. 12700, the Noms of Projects, that's where I grew into my gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? So far as me wearing that Paul Rule in my back pocket, that's never gonna go anywhere because I can't forget the unforgettable. The minute that I forget that I come from that, somebody else is gonna see me and remember when I was that. So it's kind of like you in a trick bag, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you come from that and that's what it is. So you don't have to add to it, but you gotta still stay on your toes for it, you know what I mean? But I think we should get some of these young brothers, man. It's a lot of them, Sporty Face. He's a great example. Have you interviewed Sporty Face yet?
Yep.
He's a great example on someone I could say, and I maybe spoke with him once or twice, someone I could say comes from it, but he's carrying himself in a different way about it. We need more of that. Gotta have more of that. If we're on a mission to prove Charlie Kirk wrong.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna call the movie Anti-Charlie. Yeah, we just created that right here on Cam Capone.
That's what's up.
Anti-Charlie is created for everybody in the streets of the United States of America, including Hawaii and Alaska, right? Listen, man, let's cut back. Let's do what we gotta do to try to eliminate this gang violence. Some of these things can be handled differently.
It's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? You know, I'm in a whole nother lane, nothing but sports.
Yeah, I'm not used to this Wack100, man.
Oh no, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna catch flack for speaking my truth or exposing the truth. I'm gonna catch that. You know?
That's what it is. Well, Wack, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.